you're a bounty hunter.
Yeah, that's right.
What's up? It's your boy Parzi, and today I kind of want to just talk about how grateful I am for you guys. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Like the latest video that I did. But don't worry about like my streaming content. I streamed last night. I did some Tears of the Kingdom shit. Gerudo Valley. I'm on the final boss, and then we're gonna go fight Ganon. I raged quit, but that's besides the point. There will be a video of the whole Twitch stream soon. I'm also working on some overlaying, so like on the side of like the video, or like my camera, or whatever, you'll be able to see an overlay or whatever. So yeah, I'm trying to work on that. But anyway, I just want to say I'm like really happy right now. I've been seeing the views and stuff, and like how much you guys have been watching and stuff. Recently I've had 179 views, and these are all from unique viewers. Right now, if you go on content and then you go on like how many people have actually watched your videos, I have, or unique viewers. It says right here I have 122, and like I just find that crazy. Like you guys just watch my videos. I don't know what to say, but thank you. I know a lot of them are just from like Twitch, but I do like doing content like this where I like to talk to you guys and stuff, like straight up. Um, what else do I want to talk about? Okay, so like since I really feel good about myself today, like just waking up and seeing how much, I also have uh, a video scheduled, so don't worry about that. This video will come out before the other one. I think the Twitch stream from last night will come out. Um, 12 o'clock today. So like, or whenever you're watching this, it'll just be the same day that this one was broadcasted. Um, Without further ado, like of me saying that, I kind of want to like give out a story. The story that is as old as time, and it's one that I have kept true to my heart and dear. How I became a gamer. Whoa, that's fucking crazy, ain't it? Like weren't you just born a gamer right out of the womb? No, none of us were. So I'm just gonna like tell you my personal story and why I became a gamer. Now you guys can sit down and listen, or you guys can just click off the video. I don't give a fuck. Just like watch whatever the fuck you want. But to the ones who are about to just sit down here and listen to, thank you. It means a lot to me, like honestly. But I'm not going to keep people who don't want to watch. So I'm just respectful like that. Anyway, on to the story. Okay. My early years. Now this would be like 4 to 5 years old. I knew what SpongeBob and Go Diego Go, Dora, stuff like that. I knew what cartoons were, but I didn't really know what video games were. My older brother used to play, well, he still does to this day, would play World of Warcraft, a bunch of PlayStation 2 games, stuff like that. And I would like see it, but not really pay attention. Until like one camping trip, he had brought his DS Lite, and if you remember, it had the Game Boy Advance port and the game itself. And I remember the first game he ever allowed me to play, and this shit, it blew my mind how cool it was. The game was Mario Hoops 3 on 3. It was developed by Square Enix in 2006, and this game was the fucking shit. You could literally play basketball, but it was like Mario Kart, and I didn't even know what Mario Kart was at the time. All I knew was that you could throw items and do special moves, and I was learning about Mario, Luigi, Bowser, like, all these characters, and I was like, wow, I love this franchise, and I wanted to know more. And so I started asking my older brother, like do they make toys or is this just video game stuff, and he started telling me about video games. um and this also goes along with how I found out about anime. It's all thanks to my older brother. But of me playing that old ass game. It's also still one of my favorite games of all time. I still want them to make a sports game that has basketball in it for Switch. I don't give a fuck, or whatever new console that they make. I really want a basketball game. Um, let's see. After getting the Mario Hoops 3 on 3, or like being able to play it, he allowed me to keep it for a little while. So I was like, getting used to it. And that Christmas, I had begged and begged. I think it was like 5 or 6, and I had begged and begged for a DS, and they finally got me one. But around this time, the 3DS was about to begin. It didn't come out until another 2 years. But the DS XL and stuff was new, so they got that for me. And I think I got Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games, Mario Kart DS, and just some other games which had Mario in it. I know specifically for my birthday I got New Super Mario Brothers DS, and that shit was the bomb. But I remember trading it off for with a friend because I wanted Super Mario 64 DS because I thought a 3D game was a lot better, and I didn't even know what that game was. I thought that that was where it came from. I didn't know about the 64 and everything. It took me a long time until I realized like where a lot of games came from. But that's just kind of like where it came from. I learned from my older brother. Uh, he had a PlayStation 2, and some other consoles growing up, and I never really did get to play them, but I watched him. And I really enjoyed that. Like at a younger age, when I wasn't able to play video games, I remember like just enjoying, because this was before YouTube. Like this was before I was even allowed to have YouTube and stuff. I remember just going into his room, and if he was on the floor playing his game, or if he was on his desk playing like World of Warcraft or stuff like that, I would really be engaged, and I would just want to watch him play. I actually remember some of my favorite moments was watching him play Black Ops or Mortal Kombat 9 and stuff, and him just like cussing up a storm, or just hearing people cuss at him. I thought it was so amazing, and like I remember faintly him playing Black Ops. He loved like the zombie games and stuff. And I remember faintly when he got the third piece of the moon or whatever that like the Easter egg, like the hidden song. And I just remember like my mind being blown. Um, but eventually, when I was about 8 or 9, I think, yeah, my older brother gave me his Wii, and for Christmas, I think this was 2010. Yeah, I got um, Mario Galaxy 2, and that was the fucking shit. Oh my god, the memories! I still remember, like, I speed ran that game. Well, the first world, because whenever I was younger, I got stuck at World 3. I could never like pass it because I never knew where the other stars were, and it took me a while. But eventually, I got through it. But I just remember, like, my favorite like worlds were like the ones that was there was one on the beach, and I used to like play pretend in these video games. And what I mean by that is like, especially with like the 3D Mario games, I used to just get lost in like this little sandbox level, right? And I used to pretend that like Mario was sleeping out in the sun, going swimming and stuff, and I would never collect the star. I would just like have fun doing it. And that's probably why I never did progress in those games. Like I don't, you know, I don't understand why I was like that, but I always liked pretending and stuff. And I remember what was another game? I remember liking Mario Party 9 growing up too, but seeing how people hate on it so much, I'm like, damn, I probably shouldn't say that on a YouTube video. But another game, Donkey Kong Country Returns. My childhood really was from the Wii, Game Boy Advance, and DS days. I remember my older brother having a DS Lite, and as I said, it had a Game Boy Advance port. And I remember playing Pokemon Fire Red, Naruto Ninja Council 1 and 2, like a bunch of other games. And it's all thanks to him and stuff like that. And that's kind of like my beginner story, like how I became a gamer. Um, yeah, it was just one little camping trip, and I played a little game called Mario Hoops 3 on 3, and that's the story. Um, I guess I can give you all an extra, little bits and trivia kind of thing for about me and stuff. Like, Okay, so like I'll tell you about how I started watching anime and why I started watching anime. Um, so this was, I think, hmm, this had to have been like I was probably 7 or 8 because I was never really allowed to watch like anime and stuff like that for a little while. I remember. Um, let's see. I remember my older brother. Now this is also thanks to him, so it's kind of like a tribute video for him. But trying to think. I think he was watching the Rock Lee versus Gaara fight, like the original Naruto series, and this was for the from the Chunin exam arc. And I remember it was the Rock Lee versus Gaara, and I remember watching it, and I didn't really understand why, like why is this going on, like what's going on here. And I remember specifically the whole Leaf Hurricane, and I fucking fell in love with that shit. Like, I found out because my brother was kind of explaining it to me, like how Rock Lee had no powers. He was useless, and well, not useless, but like he was not as good as like Naruto and all them because they have powers and stuff from like the hand juices and stuff. And I was like, damn. And he's like going up against him, and Rock Lee put up a good fight. But how everyone has seen it. This is about like what a 20-year-old anime. Rock Lee lost. Okay, and I was so devastated, but it made me want to watch the anime more. And I found out about Naruto, Sasuke, and Naruto instantly became a favorite anime of mine. Now this was early days. This was before the day of TikTok and how people just come in out of nowhere and start liking anime. I'm like, back in the day, if you watched anime, that was like something like, okay, you're weird. You probably have a body pillow, shit like that. Now it's normal. It's like a trend. I mean, I'm glad that people are doing this, like with anime and stuff like that. Like people are coming in, but at the same time, I'm like, damn. The same thing could be said with Zelda fans. Like a lot of people came in with Breath of the Wild, and they haven't played any of the older games, so they'll say like how Breath of the Wild reinvented it, even though there's a lot of games before it that did. It's kind of like those things just with newer people. But I'm glad how the anime is growing and stuff. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like upset about it. But there ain't nothing I can do. Anyway, back to the story. I remember my older brother also showing me Death Note, Black Butler, Soul Eater, just to name a few. And I really fell in love with anime. I just loved the stories and how many, like, just all the things that can go on. It was just amazing. I don't know how to explain it, but it was amazing. Like, and to this day, Cowboy Bebop still stands to be my favorite anime of all time. I mean, just all the references and stuff that I do. Literally I love corgis. Like literally that's my whole branding for my YouTube and shit. It's just and like the icon, it's just a corgi in the corgi army. I just love Ein. I loved all those characters and stuff. But anime has always played a big part of my life. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, another thing because now I'm just talking about my life. I remember when I was a kid, I used to love going outside. I still do. I love to take walks, but I remember as a kid, I used to go out in the woods and pretend I was those characters, like a Pokemon trainer, Mario, anime characters, whatever, with my little brother, and we used to go all out. And like I remember, we had our two dogs at the time. We had like little tennis balls, and we used to throw them, and then the like we thought when our dogs would bite them or grab them, that was our Pokemon, right? It was just like a little pretend, and I miss like I just a lot of people will say how like video games are a addiction and how they're bad for you and stuff, which in when it comes to like the gambling aspect, like how there's video games that have microtransactions and how people can get really addicted to that can be really bad. And there are a lot of people who forget what's reality and what's fiction, and then they start doing bad things that they shouldn't. There's always been stuff like that. That's why they have a rating system on their games. But how I see it, like with video games, like as a whole, it's just a way for us to have a better perspective. Like My childhood was probably built on Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, just so many other things. Like I have countless hours in Omega Ruby. It like carried my childhood. You know, a lot of parents, you know, to this day, they just, you know, they can never stick with the child all day long, obviously, after you're a baby. So, like a kid like me who kind of, you know, is a lot, you know, more sensitive and stuff like that and kind of wants to be, you know, babied a little bit, you know, those video games helped me in a way, you know. You never really do understand like how much a video game can touch your heart, but every time that I pop in Mario Hoops 3 on 3, memories. I can just remember my first video game and how that really like, it really sticks with me. I to this day I at least beat the game once a year. Uh, like I've heard a lot of people saying the same about Ocarina of Time or how Smash Brothers Brawl or you know whatever. You know, it's just an anime too. Like people rewatch. I just feel like these things are just what make us gamers, anime fans, you know, us, and I just really wanted to take some time and just appreciate everything because like it was on my mind, and I just want to be appreciative of you guys and also give you a little bit of backstory. I may also put in some game clips at the very end of the video, like I always do for my talks. I think I'm done here, but until next time, guys. Out.